Sandra all the time is here with the cold hard truth. She's the ears and the eyes for me and you. Every day, everyone want to hear from Sandra. And every time on the air, she's getting better. Tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your mama, call Sandra in the morning and in the evening. They always calling Sandra. And when they start fighting, they calling Sandra. And
That's right, folks. Everyone is telling their mama about the cold hard truth. Welcome to another episode with more truth telling, more problem solving, and of course, more tea spilling than ever before. Sit back, students, grab your tea and turn up the volume because class is now in session. Call in at 936-2626 because your voice matters. Share your opinion on issues that matter the most to you. All right, honey child. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing? Everybody good? Hello. Buenos dias. All right, let me send out all the links to everyone. Remember, this is the last week now, honey. If you're on that notification list, you need to get with the times and get on the channel. I had someone say to me, I say, Sandy, I'm afraid of the channel. I don't know what to do. I'm afraid of technology. I'm afraid of my phone. I'm afraid I'm going to break something. I'm like, let me assure you, these phones are not as tough as the Nokias back in the day. Y'all know Nokias, you could like go through rain, storm, drop them in a puddle of water, kick them around, and child, you pick them up and somebody annoying was still calling you. You're like, what the heck? How is this phone still working? And so they might not be quite as sturdy as that physically, but there's really little that you can do to a phone. Just don't fall for scammers and you'll be okay. Like, don't make them get a hold of your WhatsApp because you'll never get that back. But other than that, there's nothing to be afraid of. And it's really, really simple. Just click on the link, scan the barcode. I think we posted it again yesterday. Scan that barcode, click on the link, and then you just click on follow and that's it. And it shows up in that little section of your phone where it says updates. When you click on that, you'll get all the notifications. You won't miss a thing. Because the way it works now, it comes into your regular messaging. And honestly, sometimes you miss something. I've heard people say, oh my gosh, I didn't know that was going on. All right. We got a lot to talk about today. Hope you guys had a wonderful night. Today's Thursday already. Can you believe it? Where did the week go? Y'all gotta tell me what's going on with the time. The telephone number, slight edit here. It's 936-2626, but I think you guys know that already. I put 036. Right. The 0 is right next to the 9. Little typo there. No radio. Uh-oh. Hold on. What's going on with the radio this morning? Looks like it dropped out. 1 second. Let me click on it again. Oh boy. All right. We got to do music to force the radio to kick in. Hold on. That's some kind of AI thing.
CMR has reached an incredible milestone of having the #1 talk show and being the people's #1 choice for news. We would like to wholeheartedly thank you, our loyal listeners and followers, for making this possible. This is going to be an amazing year of continued growth and acceleration, and we would like for you to be a part of the journey. If you have a company that's struggling to reach your targeted customer base, why not reach out to CMR's sales team? With over 200,000 followers on both Instagram and Facebook, your message will be more impactful by advertising with us. Speak to a sales specialist today about all of the ways in which we can help you elevate your game to the next level. Email us on sales@caymanmarlroad.com or call 324-1612 for a consultative meeting.
So, I've advised the folks over on the other side. It's kicking me out immediately. So let me see if we can get that sorted out. Okay. They probably need to restart something. I'm not sure. Okay. Let me see if I can message someone else. Okay. All right. Let's just chit chat until maybe we can get that sorted out, because I don't want our radio listeners to miss out on what we're going to be talking about this morning, because it's some important stuff coming up here in just a second. Okay. Let me see. In the meantime, let me see if I can send this to a few of the other groups. Windsor Park had a meeting last night. How did the meeting go? Do let me know. It was only an hour. I wanted to go there, and then I realized that there was 2 problems with the meeting, which were not really conducive to me attending. The first one was it was at 6:00. Now, I kind of have a theory about people who decide to have evening meetings at 6:00. Y'all know with this traffic that literally no one can get anywhere for 6:00. I mean, come on now. I don't know where y'all traveling to and from and going and whatever, but it's not possible. Even if you live in Georgetown and the meeting's in Georgetown, it's just, you can't get it done. So I was getting all my equipment ready and I was speaking to someone, and I said, well, is it 7 or 7:30? And they said, no, it's at 6:00. And I said, 6:00? Clearly, the only people that have meetings at 6:00 are senior citizens. And hey, morning. I can't get on this morning at all to IP, the system. I connect, and then immediately, it doesn't even start the clock. It doesn't even start the timer. It immediately disconnects. It's almost like it's not connecting. Okay, it looked like it just started counting down. So let me play some music and see if it's done something now. Because before the timer wasn't even started. But keep an eye on it for me. Okay. Okay, we're on radio now. Thank you so much. Yeah, one guy was on vacation. That's why he was even responding. Thank you, Chuck. Appreciate you. Good old Chuck, boy. Gotta love him. Okay. So, yes. Good morning, Instagram folks. The only people who have meetings at 6 o'clock are senior citizens, because they can't stay up too late now. And people who don't really want you to come to the meeting. Mhm. I'm just saying. Those are the people who have meetings at 6 o'clock. So you guys know, when you're a wife and a full-time mom, those duties are important and come first, really. And so I had to pick up from camp, get her home, start to get her sorted out, pray that Marlon was going to get home not too late. None of that happened. So he didn't get home until, oh my gosh, well after 7 o'clock. So I wouldn't have been able to make it anyway at that 6 o'clock. 7:30 sometimes is pushing it, but 6 o'clock is just way too early. So didn't go. And then the other thing I found strange about this Windsor Park meeting is that it was scheduled to only be an hour. Now, I know them people can be long-winded, and I'm sure the police are like, we're tired of having meetings in Windsor Park. We have meetings with them more than anybody else. That may be true, but clearly the people in Windsor Park are not happy with you all, RCIPS. And so even when I was speaking to some of the residents last night, they were saying to me, Sandy, we're going to go to a meeting and say the exact same thing that we've been saying for how many years now? Like, we're sick and tired of telling the police the same thing, and we don't see any forward motion. Now, I'm trying to remember, if you guys are listening and you're in the Windsor Park area, would this have been the first meeting that you've had since the new commissioner has been in his position? I'm not sure. I think it could be. So do let me know if that's the case. But yeah, they're like, we're tired of saying the same thing all the time. Like, seriously, we don't feel like we're getting anywhere. What a mess. So, I mean, listen, one of their big gripes is that they had a community officer, I forget what her name is now, that they really, really liked a lot. And most importantly, she was proactive. She started like the guys, playing basketball, and she had like a little basketball league going with the young men in the community. They felt like she was really doing, as the community officers are supposed to be doing, she was really doing a lot of community work, and they were very, very happy with that. For some reason, they say that she was removed despite being so effective. They're blaming Barbara Conley. I don't know anything about that. I don't know how Barbara has that kind of power, to be honest, or what Barbara has to do with RCIPS moving officers. But she was moved. That is a fact. And since she was moved, they're saying that the youth in particular in the community have just gone downhill. And this is, very, very unfortunate, because their downhill means that they are hanging out in the park, doing drugs, selling drugs, doing the most. And this is not good, obviously, for our young people to be involved in that type of activity. So kind of sad. They want her back. And I don't know if the police have ever really responded to why she was moved and, why she is can't be placed back there. When you're talking about community officers, I mean, I'd like to give the RCIPS just a little tips of advice here. When you're talking about community officers, if you have someone that the community really likes, wouldn't you want to keep that person? I'm just saying, not all community officers will have the same degree of integration in a community, and some of them really hit the mark. And so if that's the case, I mean, why would you move that person? I am a little bit confused, I must admit. So I don't know the inner workings at the RCIPS. A lot of the staff there complain about different stuff. I just know that this particular commissioner of police has his work cut out for him. And, we're wishing him the best. But honey child, you got to be prepared to hit the ground running, both with the external and internal issues, because quite frankly, it's a lot. And if your community doesn't have faith in you and they're not pleased with the officers that you're putting in place, well, you know how that begins to go downhill. Good luck with them even continuing to report things that you need to be aware of. So, listen, was it critical to move her somewhere else? What is she doing? Put the woman back. I mean, I don't know. Did she want to be moved? Maybe there's something they're not telling us. Maybe she didn't like the Windsor Park group, but I doubt that because she seemed to have been very, very engaged in the community. So, y'all got to listen to the people sometimes. That's all I'm saying. Listen, Linda. Listen, Mr. Kurt. We expect him to listen to us a little bit more than the last guy, I must admit. Ay. Any forward movement on the DPP's office yet? Is he still there? Is Simon still working there? Somebody told me Candia might be up for the job. I don't know. She's the assistant deputy. I think she'd applied for the deputy position and they had her acting. She's from Trinidad, I believe. They had her acting in the position and then gave it to another English man. Nothing against my English friends or anything, but come on now. Y'all got to stop grabbing certain positions just because you're English. And that's what this is all about. This has nothing to do with qualifications now. That one is no more qualified, no more experience, certainly wasn't winning any more cases than her. And, here's a shocker. When you're from the UK, I want y'all to pay attention. And this is not just the UK, Canada, America. You're coming to the Caribbean. So if Caribbean people say within organizations that they would really like the leadership to reflect the community in the department, don't get insulted by that. It's not meant to be an insult in any way, shape, or form. It's just a little bit of facts. Facts are important. Barbara G, good morning. She says, love the outfit. Why, thank you very much. Morning, Evelyn, Olivia, Annie. Miss Iva's here. Good morning to Abby. She says, good morning, classmates. So how many of you were underwhelmed by Amazon's Prime Day yesterday? Trust me, I was. I was like, listen to me. There was something I was looking to buy. And I actually got it on the 28th on sale. But yeah, I was thinking about it yesterday. And I think it was a coupon that gave me like $80 off or something really, really good. And then Amazon had it more expensive now, because I guess it's back to regular price with a coupon. And the Amazon Prime price was nowhere near what I paid for it. I was like, you know what? I ain't buying that. I spend too much money on Amazon to overspend. So I'll just wait for another coupon day. Another day when it goes on sale. All right. Good morning, Mr. George. He says, Miss Sandy, I'm in class. Our government is all by themselves. So there's a petition and a WhatsApp channel that was set up yesterday. A few of you sent me the link and I chuckled to myself. Sherry Ann Smith is setting up a channel with a CUC petition. Now, listen, I'm all about advocacy and you guys can start every petition in the world. I do want y'all to focus on the really important petitions, like the ones protecting children. I noticed that she never signed that one, for example. Might it have anything to do with your son wanting to talk to 14-year-old girls? I'm just wondering. We got to get a grapple on the abuse in our community and our children are suffering as a result of it. But, we can start up petitions about CUC. Okay, go on through, honey child. The problem with this one is fundamentally the petition's actually wrong. Where's my notebook? Give me 1 second. Let me grab my little notebook. I think this is the one that I'm looking for. Hold on 1 second. Oh, as you see, I had to go far for my notebook. I had to leave the studio. Okay. All right, hold on now. Gotta make sure this is the right one because they kind of all look the same. These are little dark notebooks that somebody gave me years ago, and I'm still using them. All right, let me see here now. I got all kind of notes in here, honey chill. All right, so the fundamental issue with the petition is it makes certain assumptions that are completely incorrect. Now, listen, you're entitled to your opinion, but you're not entitled to your facts. How is it that y'all are signing a petition to do something that already exists? I don't want to spend no time on this today because I'm so sick and tired of actually talking about CUC. But there's certain things that just don't sink in. And so when I saw this petition yesterday, I had to just shake my head and say, y'all got to do better, man. You can't be making yourself look stupid with a petition. I mean, all right, let me try and find my notes because I want to tell you specifically what it is. All right, so the petition talks about getting competition with CUC. Okay. CUC already has competition for the past 15 years. It's in the contract. Please feel free to go and read CUC's contract. It's available to the public on the OffReg website. Okay. So you're petitioning for something that already exists. What a hot mess. Number two, I'm trying to see if I can't find that here. It might not be in this one. I got a couple of these notebooks. The other thing is, you are, and so when people say, well, one person said to me, well, where's the competition? I said, wow. You see, you don't understand the nature of that type of business. Tell me something. Anybody can call in and show me where you can go anywhere in the world and say, oh, okay, I'm here, like I'm signing up for telecom service, like I'm signing up for phone service. I would like to choose between utility company. Let me see. Today, this one has the rates at 25 cents a kilowatt. This one is 23.4 cents. That one is 20 cents. Oh, I'll take number 3 and sign up with them. That's not how it works. What competition means, pay attention now. Sherry Ann, please pay attention. What competition means is that in order for them to get the business on the front end, it's open to an open bidding process, right? So there's a solar project that's coming online. It's open to any and everybody who meets the minimum requirements to be able to apply to provide that service and build the solar facility. Last time the DART organization was one of the bidders and they lost. And y'all know they're in the utility business. They own the power company in Cayman Brac. That's competition in utilities. So people are confusing in their brain because they don't understand and they don't care to learn anything about this type of utility business. They're confusing it, thinking it's like I can choose which gas station to go to. And that's not what competition looks like in this industry. So y'all are so confused that you're starting up a petition that doesn't even make any sense. But go on and sign it because you're asking for something that's already done. Isn't that a complete waste of a signature? This is not the notebook that I'm looking for. But anyway, I can find it. I got another one around here somewhere. I'll find it and let you guys know. Because again, we talked about this. We've gone over this. They've got 2 types of licenses. And the one, not the distribution, but the first license, which I can never remember. There's T&D and I can never remember the first one. That is where the competition already exists, and it has for 15 years. How can you live in Cayman, claim that you're an advocate for all sorts of stuff, and you don't know that we already have competition? I'm just saying. Good morning, caller.
Morning.
Morning.
Let's talk about how many people are signing the petition that aren't registered voters.
I don't even know.
Where's the petition going? Where's the petition going? If you're not registered to vote, how is the petition going to do anything?
Well, I mean, now you're getting with too much common sense, girl. Now you're getting into some real logistical things. But I don't even know.
I preach to people all the time. They're like, oh, I'm not going to vote because I'm not going to register because this and that. But what they don't understand is that registering to vote is not just about election day. You can't sign a petition. Well, you can sign a petition, but your petition isn't going to do anything if you're not registered to vote.
Yeah. And I suspect that this petition isn't about, it's not like the people who did the port petition where they were actually verifying you had to have your ID. They're verifying you off the voters list. This isn't that kind of petition.
So what is the point of the petition then? So what is it?
Exactly. What is the point of the petition? I'm going to tell y'all what I think the point of the petition is. Thank you, caller.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it, because that is what you call the smoking gun question. What is the point of a petition that is erroneous fundamentally? What it says is wrong. And as that caller rightfully pointed out, there's no fact checking or anything of who those people are that are even signing the petition. You know what the point of the petition is? The point of the petition is that some people need a little bit of attention for themselves going into the general election. That's the point of the petition. I can't find my notes in this one. I think it's another notebook. That is the point of the petition. And why do they need attention? Okay, class, take out your notebooks because I'm going to break it down. Number one, because some of these individuals want to run for public office themselves. And so they think that one way in which to do that is to, oh yeah, you know, I'm going to jump on this bandwagon of complaining about the utility bill. And number two, they know they can't run for public office because some of them are convicts, and I don't care if you have a spent conviction. Once you've been convicted for theft, you've gone to jail. I want y'all to pay very close attention to me now, because you know who I'm talking about. And I can call names. There's a whole list of them. I can call names if need be, Sherry Ann. But I think we already know this. You can't run for public office. I don't know why you tell anybody that. So let's be honest with people. And let's tell the truth, and then we can get so much farther ahead in life. All right? You're not eligible. You're just not eligible, and it don't make no difference. My God. And the other thing is, they want to position themselves with certain MPs to be like, oh, look, I mean, you know, I'm a shaker and mover politically, and I got people to sign a petition. So you need somebody to endorse you. This is what she did last time. In prospect, I'll help you. I'll go door to door, blah, blah, blah. But you know what it comes down to, honey child? You got to grease my hand with some money. Caymanians, please don't be fooled now. Good morning, Miss Barbara, joining us from London. Symphony says, Sandy, dress code classy in the top and comfy in the bottom. Child, you better be glad I'm wearing shorts today, because or I'm wearing bottoms, because sometimes I'd be like, can I just stand in the studio in my underwear? No, I change out. I always wear the top that I'm going to wear for the day, and then I change my pants before I go on the road. Anyway, Blackberry says, exactly. I was a bit excited to get out and protest something, but after reading the petition, I lost faith. They didn't do their research. I was disappointed, but they can wheel and come again, in my opinion. Girl, please. Bye, Felicia. Seriously. These people can't be serious. You gotta, there's something out there called facts, and facts are important. Okay? So if you want to be a community activist, you got to come with your facts. You got to have your ish in order. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said Sherry Ann at it again. Yes. Damn. The things that they need to do in order to get elected for office, they're not willing to do those things. No, sir. I can't even. And those of you, just a word of warning. Those of you who are out there as candidates, you know, who want to work with certain people and they're telling you, oh yeah, I'm the person to work with. You need to be very, very cautious. Maybe speak to other candidates that they've worked with in the past and see what those experiences have been like. Because, you know, you'll be promised all sorts of stuff, lots of bigoted chat and talk. And at the end of the day, they're going to disappoint you in the end, as they always do, because it's just about a money grab. Reminds me of the PPM during the last election. You know, they made some decisions to have certain people run their campaign They had some local company here, and then the head of that, who was doing all the political stuff for them, was an expat who didn't have a clue. She was, booking them over at Radio Cayman and was asking Radio Cayman, well, if we book you for a meeting, where is it going to be? Where can people view it? I'm like, do you live in the Cayman Islands? But that's who they wanted. And that's who they chose. And then when things started to go south for them, they, ran to Andre, because again, Big Mouth was promising them the moon, the sky, the stars, everything. Couldn't deliver anything. And so I see he's back again now too. Still got the drug problem, but back again, getting ready for 2025 election. Got his page back up. Talking about, we're back. Cayman Hearsay 2024. Because again, he's going to run to PPM. I hope they're not so fool this time. And going to try to help their candidates get back in. It says a lot about you as a candidate who you choose to have working in your campaign offices, working on your campaign. I said the same thing to Kathy Wilkes, and Kathy Wilkes wouldn't listen. She had someone working on her campaign who had been arrested and charged. I'm trying to remember if she was charged at that point, but definitely arrested for theft. And I remember one of you from West Bay called me and said, Sandy, this woman stole allegedly countless amount of money from government. And even with that type of allegation, someone who wants to get in as an MP in West Bay is going to have her as their campaign manager, and then turn around and when she got elected, felt obligated to put her in her campaign office, in her constituency office. It questions your judgment. And the last thing you want to do as an elected official is have your judgment questioned. I'm just saying. Symphony says, right. Try let's get that sex offender registry going though. They don't want to sign that because they got children, daddies, and other people who are known sex offenders and brothers. Some of them got all three in the same family. And then they be getting upset with me because they're like, oh, well, that your cousin, that your family, and a business. If you're a child molester, I don't care who you are. What I know is you're like the scourge of the earth. Like I ain't got nothing to do with you. And you will be called out. Mm-hmm. And I signed the petition on that one. Miss Pat is asking, where's the petition against the destruction of our environment? Interesting question. Where is it? Oh, they did start that one though. What's that petition link again? Go sign that one. You Little Brat says prospective positions should be examined and have certain qualities, not just education. People need more than material things. They need people that they can depend on to take care of issues that are beyond their control. Things better improve or will be known as the Cayman Islands where no Caymanians live. Symphony says fear-mongering. There's always a warning. Morning, Caymankind. How was that meeting last night? Miss Aline says, is there programs/curriculum in school that caters to persons who want to get into politics or just a degree in cooking and become a politician? They don't even have a degree in cooking. I understood you, Little Brat. After I read it, I understand that you meant politicians, not position. They don't have to have any qualifications whatsoever. And listen, a piece of paper does not make the man. Let's be very, very clear. I would like to see more educated individuals because I think that it helps. I see some MPs coming to me and making arguments about legislation. And I look at them and think, you don't understand the legislation. How can you put legislation in place for us when you're lacking fundamental and basic understanding? And the most important thing for me about an education is nobody can roll up on you talking any foolishness and you're going to be like, oh yeah, I believe that. No, because what a proper education teaches you is to question. Like, wait a minute, why do you say that? Show me in the legislation where it says that section so and so and who and so on and so forth. And if it ain't there, you're not going to just accept it because you've been taught through a proper education. That certainly depends on where you went. That doesn't sound right. That's not in the law. What's the basis for that? But when you just fall for any and everything, we're going to have a problem. But it's good to have people with real life experience. And I think that this is important. Some measure of success. The mistake we keep making is we are electing broke people to politics. Now, I'm sorry, but that is a recipe for disaster for more reasons than one. Now, I'm not saying that broke people are not principled people, but you take someone who is broke and busted and you put them in a position where they're going to make $8,000, $9,000 a month, plus they have people that they're being surrounded by who have lots of money and who can throw money at them. Oh, I can take care of your constituency needs, and that doesn't have to come out of your salary or the $5,000 that you get. You can use that for other stuff, and they fall too easily. You gotta let people who are a little bit indifferent to that salary. If that salary is the driving force as to why they're there, that's a problem. And when you have people who can't pay right now their most basic bills, like they themselves can't pay water and CUC, don't elect those people to public office. I'm sorry, but you're asking for trouble. Huh? And we have to look at individuals who are principled. Symphony says it doesn't always have to sound right, especially when it comes to the they and the thems. Blackberry says kaboom. Kaboom! Read the broke political candidates and politicians. Yes, it's a problem if you're coming forward now and you have not held a job in the past 20 years and you can't get a job, but you think that people must elect you. What kind of track record are we talking about here? We're going to talk more about this. We're not there yet. Somebody requested yesterday to please get all of the MPs, their manifestos, and compare that to see what they've actually done. We're going to work on that as well. Thank you so much for that wonderful suggestion. 9362626, honey child. Phone lines are open. All right, so let's talk about a few things here. Miss Jean, good morning to you, my dear. She says, I couldn't agree more, Sandy. My BA in economics and art history from Stanford University, oh, good school, taught me the intricacies and application of critical thinking. You know, Jean, can I tell you something? I didn't understand how illogical we are as human beings until I took a course in logic. Now, I know this sounds wild and crazy, but I did. I took a course in logic. And I remember thinking the reason why I took it is because I thought it was going to be an easy A. I'm not fond of math. So once I get past college algebra, I'm like, listen, don't talk to me about no trigonometry, no geometry. I don't care about that stuff. I'm not going to be a scientist. I'm not going out there building a spaceship. I'm like, that's not me. I'm an English major. You know, give me reading, writing, history, the social sciences, psychology. That's what I'm into, not math. Ugh. Now, you got to get the basics with math. Otherwise, you'll never be able to have a budget. You'll never be able to pay your bills. You'll never be able to, you know. My husband was saying to my daughter last night, I gave her some US coins and she was like counting it. We're trying to teach her about money. So 4 of these are quarters. 4 quarters equals $1. And then he's like, okay, so if I have 8 of these, how much is that? She's like, $8. He's like, no. She's only 7, but she, you know, so he said, listen, you can't spend money if you don't understand money, if you can't count money. And I just looked at the two of them. And I just kind of chuckled. I was sitting there watching a video when he was giving her this life lesson. And of course, that's right. How you going to spend money if you don't even understand it? So, you know, we got MPs like that too. They've never balanced the budget. They've never understood anything about their own fiscal management. Like I said, they weren't paying their own bills. And then we put them in office and give them millions of dollars to try. Oh, yes, here's your ministry, got millions of dollars. What are you going to do with it? It's no wonder they're wasting money left, right, and center. It's no wonder we can jump up and give away $1 million at the beginning of hurricane season when we probably going to need that come August when we get hit by a hurricane ourselves. No foresight. The budget was already tight. We're already at $1 billion. No contingency plans, no nothing. Nope, we want a $50 million school. And it doesn't make a difference whether we could really afford a $50 million school or not. And then on top of that, let's go ahead and build $10, $50 million accommodations for the people who are coming in to build the $50 million school, or the $50 million school, my apologies. Okay. And there's no business case for the $50 million school that I can show you guys. So just ignore that because that doesn't matter. My God. When you go and apply for all sorts of things in life, you got to give people a business plan. And in the business plan, there's a section for your financials. How are you going to make this work? What's your forecasting? Where's the money going to come from in the business? How is it going to be spent? What is your initial sourcing of funds for the business? Are you going to have business partners? All this kind of stuff. None of that has been done by some of these people, and they're just completely clueless. So I remember, Amy, when I took this course in logic, geez, I'm peace. That was the hardest course ever. And you know what is so funny? Logic and math are cousins, like first double cousins kind of thing. They go hand in hand because mathematical equations are based on logic. X plus Y equals Z or whatever for a reason. You don't just pull it out of the sky. There are formulas and equations that make it work. The universe is based on logic. There is some degree of chaos in the universe, to be sure, even natural chaos, but that natural chaos works in a logical way. And so, honey, Chad, I was sitting in that logic course. I was like, oh, man, taking another course that really is going to tax my brain. But you know what? It was a good thing. Because I started to think, well, if this is a principle and then they give you the principle in logic, and then you have to apply it like real world applications. I'm going to try and find one of them principles and tell y'all. Like there's certain fallacies that we go by all the time that are completely wrong. So here's a definition. Logical fallacy occurs when the points made in an argument are false. And by the way, it all ties in together. So I used to do debating and whatever. Yeah, you better come with some logical arguments. The conclusion is false, or the points and conclusions are not relevant. So I was just talking to you guys about a petition. And I'm saying the petition doesn't make any sense. When I say it don't make no sense, it means it's not logical. Because the premise of the petition, which is to introduce competition, is false. It's incorrect. Someone who doesn't understand what's happening has put this petition together. And so each and every one of you that are signing that, unfortunately, you're signing an illogical petition that no single MP can act upon. Think about what a total waste of time that is. How many of y'all have time to waste? Not me. I'm busy. I ain't got no time to be wasting. Marva, good morning. Ms. Pat says education. Oh, Ms. Strongwill says, Sandy, talk the truth. Pat says education includes academics, experience, and much more. Yes. And we need to start thinking of education in the much broader sense of the word, other than just a piece of paper academically. You're absolutely right, Ms. Pat. Because there's no better education life than real world experience. I'll tell you that. Ms. Marva says, hashtag, I am English, numbers are ugly. I tell you. Pat says politicians must come ready. And not only must they come ready, but I keep saying to them, come now. Don't wait 2 months before the election and think that is sufficient time. Because you see, one of the amazing things about politicians, where's Hunter this morning? And people who want to be politicians is the more they talk, the more observations we can make about them.
Kaboom!
I'm going to say it one more time. This is like political logic 101. The more they talk, the more observations we can make about them. Having one or two little meetings before an election with a pre-scripted speech is not enough. We need you talking all the time so we can listen to you and pick apart the nonsense. Hunter, where you at this morning, honey chill? The more you talk, the more we get to know a lot about you. So we need you to talk plenty. Okay, because you know how people start out sounding good? You ever had this before? You listen to someone, you're like, oh, Wow. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. They're on point with this. They sound good. And they keep talking. And they talk about other issues and other things. It's like when you go on a date with somebody. That's why dating is important. You go on the first date and you're like, oh my gosh, not only does he look nice and chocolatey and handsome and whatever, but honey, child, he sounds good too. Ooh, he's so smart. By date number 5 and 6, oh Lord, you get to hear how stupid this dude really. You're like, oh my God, what was I thinking on date number 1? This ain't it. We need time. We're dating you politicians in a way. We need time to be able to get to know you. You feeling me? And that courtship shouldn't be rushed. It shouldn't be forced. It shouldn't be overnight. No. We want to see if you can represent the people, if you have what it takes, if you can even talk, because some of them can't even talk. When have you ever heard, stick a pin there, Mr. Amelia, when have you ever heard David Wright ever say anything? When has he put a cohesive sentence together? The man comes with a pre-prepared speech and still making mistakes, which means to me, because we're all human beings and, we can make mistakes. But him and John do the exact same thing. They don't even read what was prepared for them. Because, when you're going into a speech and you're introducing a situation, the least you can do is a little bit of preparation, especially if you're not comfortable public speaking, because not everybody is. Right? So you read it over. If you go, oh man, I don't know how that word is really pronounced or what that is. Let me ask somebody, or let me go to google.com or whatever. Preparation. So you can come across a little bit better. They don't even do any of that. But try talking to him off the cuff where someone has not written a speech for him. That's why he don't make any radio appearances, because the dude don't have what it takes to represent the people in that way at all. When was the last time you heard the man get up and say anything in the House of Parliament? Why are we having these people be seat warmers? Why is he elected to office? Y'all need to ask yourselves these serious questions and stop putting this type of individual, nothing against David. Listen, I ain't got no personal beef with the man. But stop putting useless people in a political seat when we need people of action. Good morning, Mr. Amelia.
Good morning, my darling honey child. How are you?
I am blessed and highly favored.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Yes,
another
ma'am.
beautiful day in paradise.
Oh, yes. Let me look out the window.
My darling. Very, very interesting topic this morning. I agree with you 150%. With the way that people just jump up and say, oh, they want to come and run at the last minute. And we had a very interesting meeting last night. It was okay. And
did it last more than the hour that they gave you?
A little over the hour. Honey child, someone actually spoke out in the meeting last night and said the same thing that you're saying. They pops up at the last minute and expect people to vote for them, not having contributed anything to the community. And I mean, we have just seen this over and over. That's why a lot of them don't understand that they're wasting their money, their $1,000 or however how much it is to run. Because if you are interested in a community or to run for a constituency, you should get into that constituency and show the people that you're capable of helping. You're capable of standing up and speaking on their behalf.
Yes.
You're ready to take the bull by the horn for them. But you don't have that. That's why a lot of these people don't understand why they're not elected. Let me give you an example. Look at what his name there, Johan. Johan came in at the last minute, the last election, and we took him around and everything and introduced him and everything, which Johan didn't do bad, even though the complaint of a lot of the people was, where have he been the past 4 years?
Okay.
But through the fact that MP Hugh doing what needs to be done in the community. A lot of people were fed up with him, and that's why he lost 300 and odd votes to Johan. That which I thought was pretty good for a first timer.
Yes.
But Johan did not got in, and after he did not got in, he dropped off of the face of the map. That's the biggest mistake anybody could make. You understand? I would have which I tried calling, and he didn't accept my call. He wasn't receiving the calls no more from nobody. And to encourage him to continue, don't give up, because he made such of a great impact with taking away 300 odd votes from MPU. You understand? That should have encouraged him to continue. That was just his first try. He did very good. But he dropped off the face of the map. The constituents had never saw him again, never heard about him again. And he could never have the idea or have it in his mind to even think about going back or running back in there 2-3 months before the election, because in Romelia, you're not wasting her time. Then you have this other young man that wants to run against David Hunter. I am sorry. I call it as I see it. He sought me out, and then he's going to come around me and talk about, he would like to see some canoes come into allowed to come into the Cayman with some good high grade. What?
Say what?
You talking to me?
What?
You heard me? You talking to me?
Canoes with who and what? You gotta be joking.
With high grade.
Nah, he didn't say that to you, Mr. Media. Stop your lying. Why you lying on that poor boy for?
I'm a child of God. I'm a child of God.
Whoa. Back that up now. Back that up. Let me try to understand what you're saying. When he says canoes coming in, you mean to tell me that he said to you, because that is completely illegal and against the law, that he's okay with canoes coming in to bring in drugs?
No, he would like to see it come to pass.
Wow.
You understand? That is the mindset.
Even if you wanted to legalize it, that's not how you do it. What the hell am I hearing here today?
Okay. Look, I'm just giving you an idea. We got the wrong people running for political office, which a lot of them would not even see the time of the day to even step foot in there as a politician because of their mindset. The way I look at this, Sandy, it's all about power and money. That power and money. You understand? And also, you have some people who don't have money, who would love to run for politics. But my thing with politics is you have to have your people and your country at heart. If you don't have your people and country at heart, you're going in there for the wrong thing. You understand? You're just going to make a mess of things. You understand? Your communities should be an equal playing field, not advocating to the rich like how it's being done now, and only to the rich. What happened to the people? It's not only the rich that put these people in the position they're in. It's the low class, what they would call grassroots people that it tends to turn their back on after they get elected. No. You do not look for those kind of people to put in office, whether they're poor, broke pocket, or got money. Because in your find they come in all shapes and forms, with money and without money. You understand? So, you child, we need to seek out people who are genuine. People, even though you have some people who are genuine, who helps a lot in the communities, get things done in the communities, and as they get in, what have they done? Knowing all of the circumstances of what's happening in the communities, what have they done for the betterment of those communities that they were in? And working in so hard, and knows what the problem is, what happened when they get in. It also has a lot to do with who it is that gets in, because like say if you don't have I understand if you don't have the supported from other members, you can't get anything done. But trust me, the public will gonna hear my mouth. This is what's happening. I put it forth, and nobody's instant. No other politician is paying me any mind. I want the people of this country to know that I have put everything I said I'm going to do, or I see needs to get done in our community. I've put it on the table, and nobody wishes to support it. Make the people know. Why is it that there's so much secret meetings and secret this that not supposed to come back out to the people? Hello. I don't understand. You understand? It's the people who put you there. The people are your bosses. So you're supposed to come back and say to the people what's going on, or what have you?
So Miss Amelia, let me ask you a question now.
All
right. Well, let me ask you a question. What is your position on these people who are interested in running for political office coming forward at the earliest possible opportunity so that we, the people, can get to know who they are and what it is that they stand for and what they're all about?
Well, I agree with you 100% with that. They needs to come out now and start from now. Don't wait till a month or two before election and I'm going to run for Windsor Park, or I'm going to run for Washington, for Georgetown North, or no. You're not going to get anywhere. That is a lot of the downfalls of these candidates who run. They do not have no interest in the community. Oh my gosh. As I said, you don't just pick up and come into a constituency, but you can run and never done nothing, never contribute nothing to that community. It makes no sense whatsoever. People going to ignore you. People going to ignore you. And as I say, even if you come in and you get some good numbers, don't give up. Continue. Get in the community. See what else you can do in the community. Be a part of that community.
You spoke specifically about Johan. That was the example you gave. But to be very, very clear, he's not the only one who's done that. In fact, the vast majority of people do that. We could go through every single district.
I am aware,
right?
That I help.
But that's the one that you gave your personal experience with. But take for example, Mario in West Bay. He came within, I think it was 12 points of unseating a politician who's been there for 40 years. You could have worked over the past 4 years, Mario, and made up those votes. 12 votes. 12 votes. Where have you been?
Yeah.
I mean, exactly. It's like, wow.
That's the same thing with Alric. I have been telling Alric have never left the Windsor Park community. Alric has always been contributing continuously to the Windsor Park community. And I'm begging and asking him to come back and run again, because even though he lost by a few votes, he never disappeared out of Windsor Park. He has been ever helping out into Windsor Park. And he just continues to be
honest, I mean, I haven't really had a conversation with Alric about his sort of his feelings about this, but I think because Alric grew up in Windsor Park, he is part of the community, and that's why he knows what it is to probably grow up and go to bed with a little hungry belly and whatever. So that explains why he is keen to want to help as well. It's not just about running for political office and getting votes. I don't think that's a real reason why he does it. I think he genuinely cares about his community. Anyway, honey child, leave me there. Thank you so much.
Darling, you have a blessed day.
You too. Next caller. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Morning, Auntie Sandy. It's Johan. How's it going?
Hello, Johan. How are you?
I'm all right. I understand. I think I caught the last maybe 45 seconds of the previous caller. But I just wanted to offer a perspective, having been a candidate in the last election. The reality is this: people don't understand the value of their vote. And so what happens is they are blinded, and you have more working class and poor people than you have any other demographic in the voting pool, right? But what happens is people will be giddy that somebody has come and given them CUC cards, grocery cards, money, And that money ranges from $200 to $2,000, from $500 to $5,000. I've seen it. I know what I was up against. And people don't understand, especially voters in the working class, poorer areas. They don't understand that the money that you get from somebody influencing you to vote, which is vote buying, you might think you're winning today, but you are merely a bridge to something bigger, because that is not the money that comes from the candidate. That is money that comes from the people that own the candidate, that own the MP, that own the minister, so on and so forth. Vote buying is real in Cayman. Corruption is real in Cayman. If you don't have campaign financing reform in the Cayman Islands, you'll never be able to control the fact that people that are in politics, especially the elected ones, the incumbents, they have access to millions of dollars from persons and entities that effectively understand, I can buy a cabinet member, I can buy a politician, I can buy a group of them, I can buy a government, and they will do my bidding. So when the working class, middle class, the desperate people that are living below the poverty line complain about your position not being improved in any way, shape, or form, understand this. It is the collective mindset that you sold your vote for cheap, because the person that bought your vote before they entered politics, they were likely bankrupt and in bad shape. I know that's the case with many people and the individuals that I ran against. But now that they are in politics and they're in the system, they are multimillionaires. And they're multimillionaires because entities and people pay them and reward them by giving them contracts for their companies, their businesses. And we don't have proper investigations into how people have amassed this money, have amassed the wealth, when before politics, you were living paycheck to paycheck, peanut to peanut, and effectively in bad shape. And the reason why we do that is because the group of individuals that control the politics, that finance the politics, that own the politicians, they're no more than between 20 and 40 individuals that have the means to write a check for $250,000, to write a check for $500,000, to basically give that to the party or give that money to the individual. And they don't necessarily do it just on the time that you have declared for office. They do that a year in advance. And the political machinery in Cayman, and especially in the PPM, to their credit, they have a sophisticated, solid political machinery on the ground. But they understand that fundraising and getting the money from the people that they then will have to work for, because nobody gives you $100,000. Nobody gives you $200,000. Nobody gives you $500,000 and doesn't
Johan,
expect in the
can I pause you?
Hold on, just let me finish. I'm nearly done. Nobody makes those sort of contributions without expecting for them to get their way. So when you see Cayman being developed for people, and it's not the Caymanian multi-generational people or working class people or middle class people, it's being developed for the wealthy people. Understand this. That was bought and paid for before the election result, before the campaigning started. And we as Caymanians got to understand, if somebody has been elected 2, 3, 4 terms and they're really not checking for you, but they've done everything possible, they've given concessions, they've helped the wealthy get even wealthier, but your neighborhood is still in squalor, you don't have drain pipes, your place floods out, you have nothing going on in your neighborhood, you got to understand that the little $200 or $2,000 that they give you is nothing, because the real winners are the people that bought the politicians, and the politicians that basically have now become millionaires as a result of their jobs. And here is the other problem. The system is designed to only attack and investigate certain people, because corruption, political corruption, vote buying, and people owning politicians is as real as my love for your brownies and for my family or anything else. But we don't have that conversation, and we talk about other things to get distracted. But when somebody can show up and offer you money, take the money. Take the money. I will never tell anybody not to take the money, but vote for the candidate that actually gives a shit about the country.
Language, sir. We're on live radio.
Oh,
all right.
Sorry,
are you finished yet? Are you finished?
No. I was just going to say,
okay.
You have the power. You have the power by taking their money because they're going to offer it to you. But don't sell out for marl and chicken and $200. Make it worth your while because they are getting real bags of money from the wealthy developer class, in particular, that now drives the Cayman economy, not because they contribute the most, but because they have the means in which to say, I want this project done. I want these concessions. I'll give you an example.
I need you to wrap it up now, though. Like, I have a question for you, so I need you to wrap it up.
Governments have given multi-million dollars in concessions to wealthy people. Have they given any concessions or anything to help Caymanians get their own sort of houses? Has there been any
wrap it up.
Medium? Sorry, Sandra, it's your show. Do you think?
Listen, no, because I have a question for you. So you're not done. I have a question for you. So where did he go? I'm not done. What the? Let's call him back because he wasn't listening. I don't like when y'all don't listen.
Hello?
You needed, Johan?
Yo.
You needed to listen. I said I had a question for you.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear any of that. You didn't ask me any question. You told me to hurry up, so I got off the line.
No, I said I've got a question for you. That's why I'm saying wrap up this introduction remark 10 minutes later because I have a question for you. Because the question is, that's all fine, and we've heard you say it before. You're very, very consistent with that messaging. However, you didn't really answer Miss Ramelia's question. Her question is, in the past 4 years, where you sounded like these American politicians, Trump and Biden, now can't answer a damn question. Where have you been in the past 4 years in the communities that you say you want to represent? That is her question, and I need an answer to that question. Just answer it for her so that she can understand.
It's no problem. I'm grateful for the help that Miss Ramelia offered during the campaign. But I'm just going to be brutally honest. Unless you are doing exactly what Ramelia Welcome says, you are a problem. Unless you answer and you respond to everything that she says, you are not doing enough. So I would suggest to Miss Ramelia, since you understand this better than anybody else, you should run for office. Because the reality is this. When you're in the community, yes, you can do work. Sandra, you do things privately. I do things privately. I don't necessarily have to be in a community and say that I've done X, Y, and Z. I help the people that I can help, but I don't have the means in which to mount a campaign for 4 years. I just don't. And I didn't take any sponsorship from people at the last election. So you got to understand, when you go into the community, you might be able to do some basic work. But what people have become accustomed to in this country is cash. And I will not, because I am who I am, and because I'm cheap, and because I have a limited means, I am not going to spend money 3 years out in order of the hopes that somebody might find value in me. If my track record, if the things that I say and the things that I do and the things that I stand for and the fights that I fight are not enough for a voter to say, yeah, he's cheap, but he stands on principle, he's pro-Caymanian, he will defend Cayman to the death, and he will defend and work hard for each and every one of us. If that doesn't count, giving money is not something that I'm going to do, because I don't lay down as anybody's political whore, and I don't take donations from anybody, and I don't buy votes because I don't have a sugar daddy that is a wealthy developer or multiple wealthy developers that basically can sustain that. And what politics has become in Cayman isn't about serving the community, it's about expending cash. And here's the thing, the people have become spoiled by that. Because
so your answer, hold on. Your answer is, number one, just because she hasn't seen you doesn't mean that you haven't been doing stuff in the community. I'm just trying to clarify what your actual answer is.
Miss Ramelia is a very, that's part of it. But Miss Ramelia is a very strong personality. But the reality is this: unless you are doing exactly what she says, you are doing nothing. Okay. That is who her personality is, and I'm not living my life like that because I don't answer to Ramelia Welcome. I don't. I'm grateful for what she did, but Ramelia Welcome will turn on you on a dime. Okay? 1 minute you're great, next minute you're the devil. I've seen it. I'm good. Thank you very much. Moving on. I will do what I need to do without Miss Romelia's help or without her acceptance, because I'm not playing that game.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Asked and answered, folks. That's what you got to do if you want to be in the game of politics. We ask you a direct question. We like direct answers. All right. I see a couple of people calling. Let me call y'all back. I'm calling on my dime, honey child, because we're not going to toll-free number. So we can pay for that, but it's not vote buying, okay? Because we're not looking for no votes around here. Vote for the best talk show on the island, because we're calling you. Lord have mercy. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Good
morning.
Someone
came to my shop this morning and told me that you were talking bad about me, man.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Hunter, what a hot mess. If you don't have time to listen to the show, you go back and listen for yourself. We ain't got no time.
I heard the little part about Miss Romelia. I never said anything about wanting to bring more canoe boats here. I was saying that through legalization, right? This is first of all, let's say.
All right. Because Hunter, I don't want to talk about that conversation then at all. So that's not where it's going to go.
Well,
anyway.
Just so you know, I never wanted more boats here. I actually wanted less.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. How you doing though? You good?
I'm good, but we have other people I'm going to call back who are trying to get in. I was just returning calls because I saw I had missed a few calls.
Oh,
but
no,
we ain't got no time to have that conversation on no boats this morning. But thank you. I appreciate it.
I know you don't want to hear that, Miss Sandra. And, I just want to let everybody know I'm still working. I'm working behind the scenes right now harder than ever. I've freed up my schedule. I've dedicated myself to this. And I really want to start promoting, some more young people out running. I mean, as a Caymanian, I think I'm like third generation Caymanian. Both my parents are Caymanian. I have nowhere to run. It is my only right in this country is to run for office. I'll tell you that, okay? So I want to see more young people stepping up to the plate. I mean, a lot of people know me and they support me and they hear that I'm running for office. And, I appreciate that. And the people that do know me know that I'm nobody special. I'm just your average Caymanian that loves this country. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm putting myself on the line. And it's something that we all need to do because, our freedom's at stake here. I mean, if we're not keeping grips on what's going on, we are going to lose our freedom in this country, guys. We're going to have to be shipped off and whatnot. So the time to act is now. They say the best time to plant a tree was 30 years ago. The second best time is now. So all the young people listening this morning, please consider it. Step up to the plate. Get yourself involved. Learn about what's going on in our politics system. Learn about the past of our government and the performance up till now. You can see that it's diminished. We have a poor government running this country right now. They all claim themselves as Christians, right? But if they really love God, I think God would clean their heart and they would be doing good. Because I find it hard to believe that these people are looking out for our best interests. There's so much things going on and there's nothing being done about it. And, we have nothing but solutions. We give them the options, we give them the solutions, and our voices are simply not being heard. So I want the young people to get registered, get involved, run. If you think about running, please reach out to me, man.
Okay, we got another caller, Hunter. I'm going to have to let you go.
We got to take back this country.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, my dear. Thanks. Good morning, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, dear.
Yes. So I'm not hearing a lot of solutions when I hear political aspirants come in. It's one thing to have ethics and morals. It's another thing to get the job done, which we haven't been seeing. I went to the Windsor Park presentation.
Last night?
Last night.
Okay.
Guy from town asked me if there were any solutions, given all I heard was we don't have enough officers. They're doing the work, but 10 years gone by and we still been at 400 police officers. You have people say they won't put their hat in the ring. What are you doing? Can you comprehend a sentence? Can you problem solve? Can you look down the road, forecast an issue? The current MPs that were there, they are a laughing stock. And I don't care if they feel a way about it, because they're not that good. They've not been doing nothing in Windsor Park. Windsor Park look run down like when down there. And for those people who live around Windsor Park, sorry, not sorry. Those are the people you put in. Because if Albert were there, something would have gone. So the one issue they were talking about with Johnny, who, whatever, I'm not going to speak to that because it's sub judice. But, you know, you had one superintendent saying, oh, you know, we need you to come and give some feedback and some update. Who going to snitch in Cayman? Everybody knows if you snitch in Cayman, you get in something. And the guy that got stabbed, we know you don't get stabbed unless you do something. But coming back to the political aspirant people, what is your plan? What are you doing? And when we say what is your plan, let's break it down for those who aren't adept and in-depth and able to matriculate the question or understand it or discern it. What are your 5 steps? What are 5 things you want to work on?
Leave us there, honey chill. Thank you very much. All right, some comments coming in the WhatsApp. This one says, try give Johanna kaboom for that statement and who Ramelia is. You hear?
Kaboom!
Next person says, Mr. Moxham is so correct with his answer. He does help a lot and does not look for attention. This person says, voters have matured. They have more access to information via social media, etc. Can't be fooled like politicians tried to do in the past. So we'll see how much they've matured come the next election. Another person says, to be honest, I think we're ignoring the ugly elephant. Sorry, not the elephant. Oh, elephants are not ugly. The ugly gorilla in the room. It's not that we have all the wrong people running, but instead we have too many voters who lack the ability to analyze or be unswayed by promises or gifts. As Shaw stated, democracy is a device that ensures we shall be governed no better than we deserve. Oh, hallelujah on that one. Yes, honey child. What a mess. People are saying, what are the solutions? So this person says, sounding a bit bitter. Disappearing does not demonstrate that you care for the community. He's avoiding the elephant in the room. Oh my. Helping in the community should not be viewed as campaigning. Interesting. Mess. It's Thursday. What day did we say it was? Did I say it was another day? I don't know. He thinks he's 3rd generation. Now this person talking about Hunter. He thinks he's 3rd generation. His biggest problem is his inability to listen. Speaking about Hunter, they said. Ay. What did Aunt Lotta used to say? You have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Listen twice as much as you talk. Except for me, because I talk for a living. I'm just saying. Hot mess and then some. All right. This person says, my granddad used to say, never elect a man with nothing to protect, aka a broke man, because he always has nothing to lose. All right. Let's read some of your comments. Park Journals here in the house said, kaboom. Floss Boss having a good laugh. Cayman Kind says, wow. This one says, see that? This is a problem. You never want to hear that. Ganja is peace, but oh boy. Oh boy. Strong Wilt says, facts, Johan. That's how she is a bully. Lord Jesus. Symphony of the Seas says, unbiased bad. Oh, Lord have mercy. You're off the mark there. Damon says, you counted to 30. Miss Daisy says, cut. Strong Wilt says, tell Hunter to take a seat. I'm sick of him now. Nonsense. Facts, Johan, says Miss Bonnie. Not ready, says Miss Pat. I think she's talking to Hunter. Kasia says, I'm sorry, but Hunter, you're not ready for political office. Listening to you only invokes nothing but mass confusion and uncertainty to what you know or understand. Try again in 50 years. You did not say 50 years. Nat B says, is this our long lost friend online? Which one? Damien says, everybody knows the problems and no one has the solutions and outcome within 4 years or less. They can't even get started. Lord. Cayman Kind says, please, Johan, explain what you're talking about, Ramelia. Way, you are a joker. Lord, don't y'all get in no fight this morning now. Mr. Phillip, good morning, says, from the looks of it, the UPM will just be removing the U from the front of their name and replacing it with P. Well, they've already done that, Philip. I've already said, y'all know Miss Julie's PPM still. Sydney says she seems to have a very strong personality. Cayman Kind says, kaboom. Siobhan having a good laugh. Miss Marjorie says, good morning there. All say what they want, what they're going to do. And when you give them a chance and get in and see that fat paycheck, they forget what they plan to do. All right, caller, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Sandy.
Good morning.
Man. How are you guys doing?
Not bad. How are you?
Another beautiful Thursday morning. I've been on air and I've been listening. I came on just when you were talking about the airlift to Grenada and the money and all of that the government has donated, and the fact that it's just the start of hurricane season. You're absolutely right. And we still have several more months to go. And I thought I would definitely share something, not that I'm looking any sort of recognition or praise or clout or anything here. But let me say to you that I personally, and I'm sitting here thinking, should I really get on air and really say this? But yes, it's absolutely necessary, because a lot of this is being done by the Premier and certain members of government, because we know elections is right around the corner. And now recognition is being looked for because of security with elections coming up. They want to make sure that they secure themselves. Not all of the MPs will do so, but notice I say there's a group of them that will do so. And despite the fact that, like herself, she has said she's not going to run again, we know that is absolutely crap, because she's at a pinnacle where one wants to get back where they are. So let's talk about the airlift. In my position,
we talked about this yesterday, so I'm thinking you must not have listened to yesterday's show, and I don't necessarily want to rehash it. So I think you might have missed that plane, but I mean, if you want to quickly make a comment, then
all right, and I'll make a quick comment.
Yes, but we did spend quite a bit of time yesterday on it.
Yes, and we're not going to elaborate on it. I'll make a quick comment. I personally went to members of government concerning to do that airlift. Not in the sense of me doing personally the airlift. I went to members of government and said, hey, listen, just after the hurricane, because Grenada is a second home to me, because in my position, I had a station in Grenada, and I managed the station for over 10 plus years as manager for Delta Airlines. So therefore, I know the people down in Grenada during the hurricane and everything. I was in communications with them. Boom, hurricane hit. Carriacou got devastated, all of this sort of stuff. I went and I inquired about the community here in Cayman forming an organization or a board or whatever to raise supplies and funds that we could support another fellow Caribbean country. However, I went and made queries about could we perhaps secure an airlift via Cayman Airways if we're able to bring stuff, like gather stuff, etc. You know what I'm talking about. And basically, I was advised that the government thought that it was a very bad idea to actually go and inject the funds to do an actual airlift to the island, because that's a lot of money for us to invest to do it. It would be best if, you all can just raise funds, or the government is going to we're going to come up with a figure and blah, blah, blah. And I said to the individuals while talking to them, I said, listen here, we can put out there and we can ask for funds, no doubt about it. But as Caymanians, we're all strapped for money, and people find it hard to come and say, here is $100 versus going out there and buying a couple tarpaulins or a couple boxes of Pampers or whatever it is. So I said, all right, I understand, no problem. Won't have an airlift. We'll see what we can do from here, whatever. Bottom line is that the whole idea was knocked down. And within 3 or 4 days, someone sent me an article where you were talking about the airlift going to happen down to Grenada. That's all I'm going to say right here.
Well, let me just say this. I mean, you're telling us some of the background information, But I can tell you that most people who were participating in yesterday's discussion, which was quite a bit of it was about this, aren't really in favor of government spending money to do this airlift, none at all. So this not nothing that get them any votes. So.
And and guess what? No, and that's what I'm saying. And I understood once I went and I spoke to them and I said, we would like to do this drive for Grenada, Caracou, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines, but can we look about maybe having Cayman Airways work with us to do an airlift? And I was told blank, clean and no, we're not going to do it. The government is not going to do it. But then to see 2 days later, I heard that they're doing an airlift, and then the airlift took place. I'm saying, what the hell? It's all a big picture for them to get out there and start promoting themselves. That's what it is. Bottom line, the PPM government promoting themselves. Anyway, let's move on to Cayman Brac, and let's move on because as a Cayman Braca, that's $50 million school, and this housing for $8 million, which we know it's not going to be 8, it can probably go to 10 or 12 or 15 million. Same thing with the school, it'll go from 50 to 75 million or 100 million. Being a Cayman Braca, yes, Cayman Brac needs an upgrade in the high school. I've been out of school now for 38 years, and it actually pains me. For every time I go back to Cayman Brac and I spend more than 2 or 3 days, I actually go and visit my high school. And to see that someone in her position who's been there for 20 plus years in Parliament, someone that when election time comes around, everybody that has promised her that's going to vote for her, she will go and she will pave from their front door straight to the main road. She will pave for them. And I'm just giving you just a little small example of what could have been done to even upgrade Cayman Brac High School, which is now the Lehman Scott High School. The track that the kids run on, that they have, we used to do PE on. I've been out of school 38 years in Cayman Brac. When I go to Cayman Brac and I see that same little track is still marl, gravels, in burnt grass, it pains my heart because you know why? The minister, the premier, and let me correct myself, the minister of education, 2 terms, back to back, could have at least put a paved track with artificial turf there for the students over the past 8 years. So that's where I just gonna leave it right now. But if Cayman Braca still wants to allow her to put their grandchildren and great grandchildren in debt for 100 plus million, they better think hard about it over the next 6 months leading up to election. Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, my dear. Thank you so much. What a hot mess. Okay. So, yeah, interesting. Good morning, honey children. Honey chillin'. Let's read some more comments. Barbara says, here's a solution for the next election. She put a couple broom emojis. Sweep them out. Oh, Nat was saying your protege who would join you in the morning whilst attending university. Yes, that was Jared. I'm surprised you recognize his voice, Nat B. Yes, little Jared is back. He was quiet for a minute because he's working for government, but he couldn't take that no more. Sydney says she seems to have a strong personality, referring to Mr. Millie, I believe. Garrett says PPM 1 or PPM 2. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandy. The previous, I think it was Marva. I'm not certain,
yes,
but it sounded like her voice. She was totally right. What are they building this monstrosity, the school, plus this accommodation for these workers? What are they going to do? The way that is designed, they wouldn't even have no resale value on that. I don't understand.
Because her plan then is to use it, again, creating a socialist community, which too many of her people are up for. Her plan then is to use it for housing for people who don't want to work and want to live off NAU.
You know, and that's the problem with so many of the problems that we have in the community. Unless government put their foot down and says, listen, no more free money. This is a project that we need you out there cleaning up the yards, cleaning up the roads all the time instead of once or twice a year.
Well, they have that program in the BRAC, and I mean the BRAC don't look that clean to me. I'm just saying. But anywho, that's another vote buying situation.
Yes, it is. And Julie got to do better than she's doing. I mean, I don't sugarcoat anything, and I hope, God, that there's intelligent people that get back in that has their hearts in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
All right, let's see. We're gonna do our best to put. Somebody said we need a scorecard. Yep, we're gonna do our best. Thank you, caller.
Sandy, we do not need somebody that has had failed businesses to go into politics. Why the hell do we need people that have failed in every aspect of their life and now they want to go back in because it's easy money? Politics is not an easy thing, and people got to understand, if you do not have something to contribute to this country besides giving them handouts at the end of or beginning of the campaign year, then it's not going to work. But you know, as an example, like Dalmeen, he's not here to defend himself, and I don't care if he was. All Dalmeen was, he was McKeever extension cord. He has never contributed anything to the country other than sitting there and feeling warm in a seat. And these are the people that, you see, because people like Dalmeen Ebanks, he owned the Blue Horizon club. People like him. He was a nice person, but he was not a politician. And McKeever capitalized on him by being close to him, because he got all of his voters as well once he passed on. You know, politics is a dirty business. You go in like
I don't know him, so obviously I can't speak to that.
Well, but I can tell you, you asked around who Dalmeen was, and every election he didn't even he was up on the platform, and that was about it. But yet he got in West Bay.
Okay.
You asked.
All right, my dear. Care. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, bye.
Okay. Well, Philip says Marva is called optics. They'd rather spend their money so that they can get elected because. Hold on a second. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program. You gotta turn the radio down, honey Jill. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hello. Hi.
Blessed good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Do you still have that PC?
Do I still have what? Sorry?
The PC.
Which PC?
Behind you.
The PC behind me?
No, look, like there's a PC beside you.
Well, there's lots of monitors behind me. You looking for a PC?
No, look, beside you with the black chair. Yeah, that one.
Those monitors back there?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're there.
You look beautiful.
Is this my little friend from the other night at the Siemens Hall?
Yes.
I recognize your voice. Remind me of your name.
Caleb.
Caleb?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Are you listening to the show this morning with your mom?
Yeah.
Aw.
You have a beautiful dress with red and pink shirt.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Caleb. That is so nice. Tell us, how old are you, Caleb?
I'm 8.
You're 8 years old. Do you know I have a little daughter? She's going to be 8 next month. So you're almost the same age. Yes. When is your birthday?
November 17th.
November 17th. All right. You might have to remind me beforehand, but I'm going to give you a little something special for your birthday, okay? I'll make you some of my special brownies just for Caleb and friends. How's that? You like brownies?
Thank you. Yeah, those are my favorites.
Oh my gosh. November 7th. We're going to make a little note here that we're going to make sure we get Caleb some brownies for his birthday. Now, Caleb, you're listening to the program this morning, obviously. What do you think about all the things that you're hearing on the show?
Huh?
What do you think about what you're hearing this morning?
I'm hearing.
Any of it making it? Does it make sense to you, or you're still trying to understand it?
I'm trying to understand it.
That's okay. That's all right. That's the thing. You just keep listening. You pay attention in school, and it's going to make more sense as you get older. Some of it is a little bit complicated for now, but you just keep listening. It'll make sense. Okay.
Okay.
All right. What are you doing for summer break? Did you do any summer camps?
Yeah, I went to summer camp with my dad.
You did summer camp with your dad?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And what school do you attend, Caleb? What school are you at?
I'm at Joanna Clark Primary School.
So you're right in the Savannah area. So you're very close to me, actually. And are you doing some reading and stuff for the summer while you're on your break?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. You got to keep up with some of the work while you're on your summer break. All right. What is your favorite thing to do when you're on summer break?
My favorite thing to do is just play with my PS4.
Play with your PS4. All right. But don't play too much on it now. You got to balance it, right? So you got to go outside and do lots of fun stuff outside.
And I love to play my PS5 and the PS4 and the Xbox.
Oh my gosh, you sound like you're a big time gamer. Not too much gaming though, Caleb. You've got to read and run around outside and play soccer and whatever else you want to do outside. So just a little bit of time on the gaming consoles, okay? And you got to listen to your mommy. Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay, honey child.
He loves. All right, I'm gonna give you a big honey child shout out. All right, Caleb?
Okay.
All right. Yay. You have a good day.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye. Well, I tell you what, I'm so tickled pink that he actually called. So Caleb loves when I say honey child. So everybody in virtual unison, everybody together, say, Caleb, honey child, have a good day on 3. Caleb, listen now. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Caleb, honey child, have a good day. Good morning, caller.
Listen to me, Sandra. Morning.
Is he not the cutest?
Forget about Johan. Forget about Hunter. I want to vote for Caleb. I want Caleb running in my district. Yeah.
Aww.
And he said, and him at his young age, he said something that I haven't heard any one of them say yet.
Uh-huh.
I'm listening. I'm trying to understand. There's wisdom in those words. Anyway.
Yes.
Good day.
So true. Thank you. Yes, from the lips of babes. Wow. Oh, that was so sweet. Marva says, oh, wow, a very young, smart Caymanian child. That's why he's asking about the PC. Yeah, those are monitors. There's 4 monitors back there together. So he's probably in awe of that for sure. Symphony says, leave him to be a kid now. Not too much gaming. It's too much screen time. Not good for you. She's running for Bordentown East, I hope. Who's she? I don't know who that is. Youngest caller on the Cold Hard Truth, says Gareth. Probably. Sydney says, clever child. Jamila's like, aw, I know, he's so cute. And listen, the other night when I saw him at the Siemens event Tuesday night, he kept saying, are you really that lady? He couldn't believe it. I was like, he's like, you're the one who says, honey child. I said, yes. Oh my gosh. Sandra Ebanks says, aw, God bless his little heart. Honey child, have a good day. All right, Caleb. You have an avid listener to the program, says Sydney. You can imagine, 8 years old. What a little ting. Caleb, honey child, have a good day, says Melita. He's going to be in IT, says Strong Will. Well, the world is your oyster. You can do it, Caleb. Just make sure you continue to work hard in school. That's key. So Philip was saying Marva is called optics. They would rather spend our money so that they can get reelected, because they think everyone is going to look on this as they're doing something for the people. But what they don't understand is people are getting smart to their politics. Andrew, good morning. Andrew says, I strongly believe we as the voters should implement a scorecard system, because we evaluate the ministers every 3 months and grade them from A to F, and we can give a report for the next election. Well, we can do that. Yes, we can definitely do that. Gabby says, I hope that we never go independent, because they say Cayman goes independent. The day Cayman goes independent, I'll be moving away. Lord have mercy. What a mess. Symphony says, does the government have to always use up the entire budget, or can they save some to add up? Well, this is what the previous premier was saying. And let's keep in mind now that he's not one that's hurting financially, and he has run a law firm as managing partner and all this kind of stuff. He actually said, when he was telling them to tighten their budget, he said, I'm not telling them to tighten their belt, I should say, because we're broke yet. But we don't want to be broke. We don't want to be that close to the edge. What is wrong with fiscal considerations and planning where we don't have to spend everything that we have? So symphonies of the reef, it really comes down to what people think and how they think about money. It's so unfortunate that they do believe they should spend it all. Mr. Damien says the fee should be $10,000 to vote to become a candidate instead of $1,000. I don't think they've increased that in a minute, and I think they should increase it. I don't know about 10 grand, but I think, Damien, it's time that maybe they increase that a little bit. We'd have less riffraff running, I suppose, at some level as well. Symphony says people that say some things some don't like makes people not desirable, right? Ms. Pat says we need to know about your true character. Damien says, so no teleprompters like the 2 U.S. presidents. Listen to me. We need to talk about this boat situation here. I'm confused about why any seasoned representative of the people needs a teleprompter. You mean you can't just get up and talk? Jeez, what a mess. All right. Symphony says games could exercise the brain and critical thinking. Yes, in moderation. You know, there was something I was reading the other day about how, because so many of us are now typing, even like in classroom situations, we're typing like our notes and whatever. Your brain actually retains more information when it's handwritten as opposed to typing. Technology has changed how we do things for sure, but it's also changing the structure of our brains. And in most instances, it's dumbing us down. Y'all might not want to hear it, but in most instances, the reliance on technology doesn't help our brain. Raise your hand if you can remember 10 phone numbers or more in this day and age. Now, depending on your age, before we had all these smartphones remembering everything for you, you knew a slew of numbers that you could roll off the top of your head. Now your brain no longer requires you to remember any of that. So that's not always a good thing. I'm just saying. All right, let's move on and talk about this hot mess of a situation. Biden shipping. This is quite a catastrophic situation potentially waiting to happen. Now, I don't want to be into the business of fear mongering, but y'all know this vessel is called the Sea Elephant. It is hovering right now over by South Sound. Now pay attention, folks, because this is very, very important. While y'all busy cussing CUC, and 50%, at least 50% of your bill is fuel factor, I never see a single one of you controlling about Sol, Rubis, how we're getting fuel here, or any of that stuff. And I want y'all to tell me why half of your bill comes from fuel factor and you don't see that being an issue ever. I don't see no petition starting against these fuel companies saying, can y'all give us a better rate? Can you bring it in cheaper? No. Not only can they not bring it in cheaper, but right now, with this situation that is out there and happening, y'all need to be made aware that this could make prices go up on the fuel that's sitting on this tanker. Let's back it up and I'll explain what's going on. So this tanker hit, the Brackers said that they're not going to reef it to hit, so they don't know what government was talking about. It did some damage to the ocean floor. I think we are safe in putting it that way, right? The government termed it the reef. Cayman Brackers say they're not going to reef, so they don't know what government talking about. All right, the ocean floor. Damages, Cayman Brack Reef was what government said, ocean floor, whatever. It caused some damage. It caused some damage to the vessel when it was delivering diesel to Cayman Brack. So my understanding is it went to Cayman Brack, offloaded whatever diesel was supposed to be offloaded there, and on its way out is when the incident happened, okay? So that pilot has been arrested for whatever offense. I'm trying to get some clarification on exactly what they have arrested him for. My sources said it's powers that fall under the DOE, Department of Environment legislation, and another source said, Sandy, check a couple sections under the Port Authority law. Regardless, he has been arrested for doing damage to the bottom of the ocean floor. I guess investigations are continuing, okay? Now, they changed out the pilot, I understood. So one pilot, the pilot that was there, he's gone, new pilot come. Not pilot. They changed out the, let's get the terminology right, because this is very, very important. They changed out the captain of the vessel. Now, I don't know where the captain of the vessel came from, like the new one, and how they changed him out. I don't know. But what I do know is that the pilot, now when I say the pilot, because I don't understand a whole lot about maritime law and shipping, so I had to ask a lot of questions to make sure I understood this so I could explain it to you. The pilot, a maritime pilot, is the person who helps bring the vessel in to safe harbor, to be able to connect to the pipes and unload the fuel, right? So they should know Cayman waters. They should know where dive sites are, where you know, the reef is, and so on. And the idea is you are instructing them on how to come in so that they don't cause any damage to the reef, the ocean floor, or anything else, or their own vessel, which is important as well. Thankfully, the damage to the vessel did not result in an oil spill, because you can imagine the environmental disaster that would have occurred off of Cayman Brack had it been, you know, an oil spill. And this is why we got to make sure the pilots have to be qualified and they're doing their job properly. All right. So he's been arrested. Investigations are ongoing. Yada, yada, yada. Baden Shipping, I don't know who owns Baden Shipping. I don't know which Badens this is or whoever, have essentially said they have one remaining pilot, that they're not going to allow their remaining pilot to bring that ship in to offload the rest of the fuel. Follow me carefully now. They only have 2 pilots. They're not going to allow that remaining pilot to bring that ship in because they're in their feelings that their other pilot has been arrested. Who owns Baden Shipping? Which Badens are these? I'm thinking these are Caymanians, and this would be their solution to this problem. Your pilot is arrested because, you know, maybe it was just a mistake, but in law, some things, it doesn't matter if you didn't intend to do it. If you did it, it's strict liability. That's enough, and you get arrested. The company will probably be fined and dealt with, blah, blah, blah. I don't see him going to jail for this. But your solution is not to let that tanker come in and offload the fuel. The tanker has fuel for CUC, It has fuel for aviation, for airplanes, and so on. So the fuel is obviously necessary. The longer, and it's for Rubus. So the longer that it sits out there with no ability to come in and bring in the fuel, what do you all think is going to happen? The price of that journey keeps going up every single minute and every single day. So I was flabbergasted. I said, hold on a second now. Explain this nonsense to me. Only 2 pilots on the payroll at Bodden Shipping, because apparently Bodden Shipping has the contracts with these ship handlers, right? And that's the agreement. When you're coming into the Cayman Islands, we will provide you with the pilots to make you safely come in. They're upset. They're in their feelings. And their solution to that is to prevent a ship from coming in and offloading its cargo. How long is that ship going to stay out there for? An indefinite period of time? Or are they going to say, okay, we got to go. Y'all are ridiculous. We're going to continue on our journey. I mean, I'm assuming it's offloading the rest of its fuel, and then it goes back to wherever the heck Sea Elephant came from. So this is like really shocking and unbelievable. When I heard this story over the weekend, not over the weekend, what today is? Thursday. I heard it on Tuesday and I started doing some digging. I said, but this is crazy. You mean to tell me that Bodden Shipping can hold this country by the gonads? We got a young listener. They can hold this country by the gonads? What? Who can compel them to make this ship come in? I'm told Off-Reg can't compel them. Government can't compel them. Nobody can compel them. Tell me how this makes any sense now. Now, further explanation is required. So apparently Sol, that's the other competitor. So there's Rubus and Sol. Sol actually, hold on a second, Mr. Dean. Hold on. And I'll finish explaining yet. And I want to explain it before y'all comment any further. But apparently Sol owns the facility at Jackson Point. So because they own the facility at Jackson Point, they have a say in what vessels and who can come in and drop off and whatever as well. So another source revealed, and this part of the equation, let me just tell you this, has not been confirmed, but they have sources in the industry, and they're saying that Sol is part of the problem as well. Because yesterday, an alternative pilot was identified, and apparently Sol is saying no to that pilot. Now, I don't know why. So we're going to reach out to them today and say, can you tell us, number one, if you said no to another pilot, and if so, why is that the case? Now, these pilots have to have certain licenses and insurance coverage to be able to deal with certain types of vessels that have like a certain tonnage, et cetera, et cetera. So this is pretty industry specific. Setting the industry specific stuff apart. This is what I don't understand. This is a commercial dispute now, right? At some level, this is government who may end up sanctioning that particular pilot, which means that Bodden is going to have to pay those fees, Bodden Shipping, and they will be sanctioned for the mistake of the pilot. Alleged mistake, let's put it that way, right? Why are we being penalized for that? Why is the consumer ultimately going to be penalized for that? Because the cost of the fuel is going to go up the longer that vessel sits there. And you can actually go, if you go to this website called, what's it called again? Maritime something. It shows you all the vessels in real time. And you can, maritime, oh yeah, marine traffic. You can go to that website in real time and you can look at the vessel just there idling. As a matter of fact, let me show you all this picture on the screen so that you can see it for yourself with your own 2 eyes. Look at this. So since that vessel left Cayman Brac, it has been out there just circling around. There it is, just circling. You see how it's going from here up and down all over the point. It ain't got nowhere to go. It's just burning its own fuel, and at some point it's going to run out of fuel, and it has to get out of here. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, good morning. You see, this is the kind of thing that happens when you let private sector run a country. and the government doesn't have the power or the fortitude to do what it had to do. Why should a port pilot be in the private sector? They should have them in the private sector as well if they want, but government should be in control of their ports. It's simple as that. It's simple as that. This is what happened now. They're holding the entire country, the private sector is holding the entire country hostage because they're in control of the port pilots, you know. And something could be done also if the government really has the knowledge and the intelligence and brave enough to say, listen, we're not gonna pay extra for that fuel because that fuel hasn't landed yet. If they consider it landing, it's the private sector is buying it, and a soul is buying it, or whoever. So government could stop.
Hello. Oh gosh, look like his Wi-Fi kind of dropped out. So yeah, I mean, this is essentially it. We're being held hostage. You can actually play the little thing you see where this vessel is kind of like making little circles around the place, hanging right off of South Sound, trying to get in to Jackson Point. It's ridiculous. And I think that although Baden, although Baden Shipping is a private entity, they're providing a service that the public is relying on. We have basically 2 weeks worth of fuel if this vessel does not get in here fairly quickly. What are we going to do then? Now, the good news is, these annoying ads. The good news is yesterday, another vessel, which Sol brought in, was able to land and provide us with some fuel. I mean, their gas stations, I guess, will be okay for a minute. And they could theoretically provide fuel then turn down your radio, folks. They could theoretically turn around and sell fuel to their competitor, but you know that's going to be done at a markup. It won't be done at the same price. Morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandra.
Morning.
If this isn't considered a matter of national security, I don't see what would be.
A national urgency? Emergency?
I think this is something that the governor should step. Listen, nobody should be able to hold the country at ransom. This should be considered a matter of national security, because if we run out of fuel, then you know what that's gonna
I bet you they won't be complaining about no CUC then. I mean, this is ridiculous. Damien is saying off-reg would allow that. Off-reg has no legal remit to do anything about it. Can you believe it? This is where our lawmakers are failing us, because let's be honest, this is something they should fix. They should never allow this to happen. Thank you, caller. Symphony says that, so we said Cayman, not got no history of piracy. We're still complacent. Yes, caller, says KK. Is this correct that all the pilots on the island are under this one private company? Well, Sammy, there's only 2 pilots. Gives them way too much power. And if you read the article that we posted on the website, the important question has been, because there used to be Caymanian pilots, right? So in the article, it tells you the whole list and names of all the Caymanian pilots. The Captain Edley Martin retired, Captain Whitaker retired, Captain Medina's retired, Captain Banks is retired, Captain Scott is deceased. So the last 5 Caymanian pilots that we had are all retired, and one now has passed away. And there was never any contingency plan, never any training or foresight to replace them with our own Caymanian pilots, because these 2 pilots that Baden has are here on work permits. So we not got no Caymanian pilots. Because, I mean, if their boss is telling them, you're not going to bring this ship in, most people are going to be like, what can I do? But I think that maybe a Caymanian pilot would have said, but Baden has the contract with the ship handlers, and this is what's going on out there. Who's to blame for this? From what I can understand, Baden Shipping, 90%. If Sol is doing what we here that they're doing, which is not accepting a third alternative pilot, that's then the other 10% of the situation. So who manages Bodden Shipping? Shall we try to call Bodden Shipping this morning? How about that? I'm aware, radio listeners, that y'all got to go. So y'all have a beautiful day. And I say that we give Bodden Shipping a call. Who runs Bodden Shipping? Anybody got a name for me? Is it a Bodden or somebody else? All right, let's call them, because y'all know we love a good phone call. Radio folks, y'all be good now, honey Jan. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. All right, let's call them. Let's see if we can get anybody. Who's the manager? Do we know who we need to be asking for? I have no clue.
Shipping, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Who's your managing director there, perhaps, or your manager?
Manager for Bodden Shipping is Luria Peterson.
Louis Peterson?
Luria, yeah, Luria.
Luria.
Yeah.
Okay, is she available?
She's not here she's not here. I just arrived and she's not in the office. I can take a message if you want. I believe she's coming, but she's not here yet. Do you want me to leave a message for her to call you back?
Sure. Can you ask her to give Sandra Hill from Cayman Mall Road a call?
Okay. And your phone number, Sandra?
It's 324 1612.
1612.
Yes.
Perfect.
And I'll tell you
put
what
a
it's
note.
in relation to. It's in relation to the tanker, the CL.
The tanker. Okay. Perfect. I'll let her know.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Appreciate it. Bye-bye. All right. Let's see what happens. Wow. Miss Deline says Maureen or Maxine Bodden. Do they still own it? Because they've been offloading a lot of their family assets. So I don't know who the Caymanian owners are. Somebody says it's Mr. Theo Bodden's family. Good morning, Sandy. It is Bodden Shipping Holdings. And that is Mr. Theo Bodden. And now I think it is his son running the business. Well, who's the son? Claire C. Bodden and Mr. Jake Manderson brought in those ships. Mr. Bodden died, and that was a long time ago. All right, somebody asking about the show. So just remember, it's a 2-hour show. And does Cayman ever plan or have foresight, says this person? Sandy, someone is pranking you. Pranking me about what? I don't know. All right, another person. What's this? What's going on here? They're sending me a bus. All right. So let me just see here. Captain Theo's family. All right, captain. Yeah, so there's a difference between a captain and a pilot, to be clear. Let me see. Okay. All right. So listen, last night, somebody says, a quick comment, breathe. You have to put a time limit on these callers. If they have any sense, they would talk less. But anyway. So listen, late last night, we got some indications of the patio at Casanova's collapsing. I want to go and see this for myself and see exactly what happened, because whoa. Say what to what? What would have caused this collapse? Well, listen, obviously people are sitting on this deck all the time, tables, people walking up and down on it. And you have got to be mindful of the fact that, these types of things should be stress tested every once in a while. That facility is right on the water. Obviously, every time there's a nor'wester that comes in, there is a degree of damage undoubtedly that happens as a result of the nor'wester. And so even though it might look like it's nothing serious, one can't make that type of assumption when it comes to structural concerns. Okay? They said people were already on the deck for dinner. Look at this. I mean, literally the deck is like collapsing. Look at the table. It's like all wavy. Every time there's an earthquake and these other things, y'all better try and be checking, different things to make sure that structurally they're sound. What's underneath this deck? Is it just iron shore? But somebody could have easily been hurt and injured here. So thank God that didn't happen. They said there were no injuries reported and they had to move them upstairs. But this is now an opportunity for anyone who is on the waterfront or on water where your deck is constantly being battered by the ocean waves or northwesters or whatever. All of you oceanfront facilities, please take it from Auntie now. Listen carefully. Make sure that you're maintaining these decks properly. Make sure that they have, look at this. There's a friggin' hole in it. It's collapsing. Look at that guy. He looked like he might have fallen in. Wow. Make sure that you are taking the time to, just be cautious. Look at that man in the background taking his little photo. He's like, I'm going to snap a photo just in case. Yeah, just in case I need to call my insurance company. Listen, it could have been far worse. We're grateful that it wasn't. But all of you who have decks, please make sure now you're checking your decks structurally, that they are sound and they're safe. You should have at least every 6 months, somebody come and check the decks. Anything needs to be repaired underneath. You don't know what's rotting. Wood tends to rot no matter how good it is. Do you need more support beams? Yada, yada, yada. I'm no engineer. I'm no construction expert. I'm just somebody with a little bit of common sense. Irvin says they're lucky it was not one of their busiest days. Damien says that building is more than 50 years old and cement deteriorates in salt water. Even the rebarb starts to weaken common sense. Ms. Darlene says making money and cheap to spend. Evelyn says, I've always wondered how they could have built those decks there. The deck is dry rotting, says Strong Will. Well, I don't know what's going on, but one thing for sure, it's not safe. Fix it. Debbie says that would have been a major lawsuit. You better believe it, because most of them people look like they're foreigners and they're not going to hesitate to sue you. See them there? You sit there. They'll sue you just for making them look at the hole, much less falling in it or getting injured. Don't play around with Americans, honey child. They love a good lawsuit. All right. That's it. That's all she wrote. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Big shout out to all the Instagram listeners. Hope you guys enjoyed the program. Tomorrow is Friday. All right, honey child. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Don't forget the show's now 7:30 to 9:30, a 2-hour show. I'll post something up on Facebook because I know a lot of people are still asking me, oh, why is the radio off at 10:30? It's because it's now a 2-hour show. Oh, another call. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, so we crossed the last night, and they had a lot of people because people were outside waiting to be seated. And I say yes, that's true. We crossed the last night, and a lot of people were outside waiting to be seated, and lots of apartments were crammed too. Because we were saying, look, it was so pretty, and when we looked, we went to for a drive, and lots of apartments were crammed. So there's another one here because they're right over the sea too. They need to check that because I was saying, yeah, sure, because they get beat up and stuff from bad weather and stuff, and they get weak. When I go to them, I do sit out there. No stuff.
Thank you, my dear.
Yep.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
All right. Yes, I mean, when you're in business, rule of business 101, you have got to spend money to make money. And especially when it comes to safety, you can't put any sort of price tag on safety. Somebody says that deck was not built legally. Its setting is romantic, but not legal, as it violates setbacks. And so someone would allow it to violate setbacks and never do anything about it? Planning, CPA, is that what's going on here? What a hot mess. No, sir. All right. We'll be keeping an eye on the situation. Dee Dee says, wait, wasn't that the same restaurant that was not accepting Caymanians? No, I don't know anything about that now. Let's not confuse anything. Let me be very, very clear. I've been going to Casanova's. I don't know how long Casanova's has been in business, but I've been going to them from my ride on Cayman when I used to work back at Maples and Calder back in the day when they were at the other location where they were further down where the Watler, what's it called now? The Royal Watler area is, because that used to be, remember that plaza, and they were in there, and we used to go there all the time. And I can tell you that they have always tuned in. Those guys have always provided phenomenal service, great and phenomenal food, and they've always been welcoming to everybody. I mean, they open their arms, and I've never heard a single complaint that they have not welcomed locals to come and dine with them or anything like that. Absolutely not. So, and they've kept the same staff most of the time. There lots of memories there for a lot of people. Strong Will says, yes, a lot of locals go there for sure. Symphonies, and it's one of the best, if not the best Italian restaurant. It's definitely one of the best on island. We have a few good Italian restaurants. Symphony says, because it was done long ago in Bethlehem, it's exempt, mate. Well, no one's ever exempt from safety, so let's fix it. All right, good people. That's all she wrote. Go get some work done now because you got bills to pay. We'll let you know tomorrow if we hear back from the manager at Baden Shipping, because again, this is a very concerning situation. This is the kind of petitions y'all need to be starting about foolishness like this. Our MPs, I know some of y'all listen every single day like clockwork. Y'all need to fix this. You should never allow a private entity for services essential like this, like the provision of goods coming into this country. A private entity should not be able to control fuel being able to come into this country just because they're up in their feelings about one of their pilots being arrested. That ain't got nothing to do with the situation. You deal with that differently. You don't protest by telling this other vessel that it cannot come in and telling your pilot to make himself unavailable. I'll make a phone call over to Seoul as well to see what they have to say about the situation. All right, good people, be good, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels and visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.